Mucker, welcome back to the circus. Hi, how are you doing? Okay, we have an insane video for you today, and by we, I mean me. Okay, this is going to be quite an explosive conversation that is trending all over Twitter to the fact that Shane Dawson, those two words, was trending on Twitter last night, along with the key word of the person who we're going to be talking about in this video, which we're going to get to. Before we get into this though, I do just want to say that none of this has been confirmed by Shane, Shane's team, or anyone to do with Shane. So, take that with what you will. However, it's really weird because so many news sources are now talking about this that had started on Twitter, and again, Shane's name was trending on Twitter because of this. So, I wanted to talk about this to you, to update you, because you may not be on Twitter, and this is a really big thing that people are really now talking about and questioning. But I do just want to start it by saying that this is not confirmed, and this is all speculation. But with that being said, let's get into it. So, it is being said that Shane Dawson's comeback is going to be a documentary. Shocker. It's going to be a several-part documentary about Britney Spears. Now, if you're like, what, or why, or whatever, Britney Spears is a big topical moment right now in the media because of the Free Britney movement. If you don't know what that is, Britney Spears has been under a conservatorship for most of her adult working life now. I think since 2008, again, I'm a big Britney Spears fan, you know, we love Britney on this channel. Since 2008, she has been in a very strict conservatorship by her disgusting team who have been exploiting her for money and overworking her, and her father is in charge of it. And again, there's just a bunch of disgusting practices that have been happening, very shady, manipulative ones within that, and it kind of means that Britney is stuck in this conservatorship, and she has been, even though she has been working and, you know, showing that she is a capable person of not only carrying herself personally but professionally, and her team have no problem making her do all this work, but then will say that, you know, for her own mental sake, she can't be out of a conservatorship. So it's basically their way of overworking her, getting all this money off of her, and still controlling her, and basically she's not in control of anything. So the Free Britney movement has been started a couple years ago by Britney Spears fans to raise awareness for her team's disgusting, exploitative, manipulative, scary behavior towards Britney. And this year, last year, there were a lot of documentaries that were made about this, and it really is becoming a big media moment. And also, with the media talking about how they've exploited Britney Spears, and a lot of them attempting, for their own publicity's sake, to take accountability. Now, Shane Dawson covering this is very interesting. I'm going to read this tweet out first, then we're going to read a couple of the tweets out that people are really talking about this. So, this account, Intoxicate Me, said, Shane Dawson has been interviewing people about hashtag Free Britney. It is rumored that a Free Britney documentary will be part of his YouTube comeback. So here we have Shane and then the Free Britney movement. Now, in reading through the responses with this, a lot of people are thinking that this is what's happening. And now we have Britney Spears Central. Sources have told us that Shane Dawson is working on a Free Britney documentary. They tell us he has plans to use the huge increase in popularity in Britney Spears and her current legal struggles to relaunch his YouTube channel and shift attention away from his own controversies. Now, before I read another one, I just want to say that I think we do not need this. And I'm not just saying that because it's Shane. We do not need another man in the media industry exploiting Britney's series for their own monetary gain. Now, are you hearing that? Anyone who is now making all these documentaries about Britney Spears that weren't talking years ago are doing it for the sake that it's popular and money. Let's talk, for example, that Adam McIntyre has been covering the Free Britney and Britney Spears drama surrounding the conservatorship years and years and years ago. You know why? Because I'm a Britney Spears fan and I care. I'm so tired now of seeing men in this industry, and I'm saying men in the industry because they were the ones that exploited Britney in the first place, now exploiting the story of her being exploited for their own personal gain. Shane Dawson making a series on Britney Spears is not going to get her out of the conservatorship, no matter how his little gremlin fans look at it. You know what I mean? And it's just alerting to me that a lot of sources are confirming that this is real and this is something that is happening and people are being interviewed about this, because it's genius. It is genius for Shane professionally. If Shane makes a documentary on the Free Britney movement, that's a lot of mainstream attention for Shane about the fact he's covering the Free Britney. A lot of people want to know more about the Free Britney and will be willing to look past what has happened with Shane so they can learn more about it. And it means that Shane Dawson can come back onto YouTube without the comeback being about Shane Dawson coming back to YouTube. We have been speculating and speculating that he's going to come back with a wedding documentary or a documentary, you know, about himself. And the more we think about that, it's smarter for him to do this about Britney because it's such a big media thing anyway that, you know, there'll be so many more people who aren't even subscribed to him that'll want to watch it because it's Britney Spears and it's a trending topic. But the comeback is now going to be about, look at this documentary Shane has made about Britney Spears, not Shane Dawson's back on YouTube. It's incredibly professionally smart. So in reading through this, the response is that nobody, and I mean nobody, is liking this idea as well. Now I just want to say, while everyone is running with this story, I want to say that I have a hard time believing that this is what he's going to do, so I don't want to put this out as fact. However, there's an insane amount of people that have been saying that they have sources who have been interviewed by Shane. And now the only reason I'm saying, you know, the speculating part is because this is being talked about very much so on Twitter and Instagram. And it's like, who's telling you all this information? It makes sense to me, though, that Shane would do this for his YouTube comeback. Pop culture, the conspiracy theories, people will be interested and they will be watching. Are we getting to the bottom of this here? So, whenever I look through the responses here, people are saying, I typed in Shane Dawson and Britney immediately comes up. Someone said, not Shane Dawson trying to make a comeback on the back of Britney Spears, fight to be free. Someone said, hey Shane Dawson, if you make a Free Britney documentary, I will watch it. Someone said, Britney deserves better. She doesn't need no Shane Dawson. Someone said about Shane and Britney, and then...
Yeah, freak show, freak show, freak show.
A video of Shane singing a Britney song seems to be appearing here. I mean, if I had to see this, you do.
And I came to hit the floor. You thought you knew before, but
It's a Britney Spears song.
you know, if there's something, make them other bitches mad. I'm about to shake my ass. Say, boys, give it up, freak show, 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 and so forth, and I can't.
I had to put on hand sanitizer after that. So, reading through, we have a lot of drama channels now talking about this as well. So, Spill Sesh quoted this tweet about the Shane Dawson saying, if this is true, and then got 2,000 likes, and Emily G. Baker responded and said, so, another man can use Britney to further their career. And this got so many likes, and someone said, can she sue him, as in Britney sue Shane? But the thing is, the full conversation is that Britney has no control over anything, so it will be her team trying to silence Shane. Which is a case that could happen because, you know, Britney Spears' team have been trying to silence these documentaries, have been trying to silence people speaking up about them. But Emily D. Baker, a lawyer, responded to someone who said, can she sue him about Shane? No, she can't. Because of the conservatorship, she doesn't have the legal right to say so, or sue. Which is really sad because, again, people can literally make these documentaries, we'll use that loosely in Shane's case, they can make these videos and make millions upon millions of pounds off of it, or sorry, dollars, and Britney receives none of that. One of her conservators would have to, so either her dad or Jodie. Currently, her dad is being blasted by her mum over spending money on the media and PR after the Lost documentary. So basically, it's whether Britney's team would be willing to go after Shane Dawson legally for covering this on his YouTube channel. And the thing is, I personally think that if Shane was doing this, it would go mega viral. It would get millions upon millions of views. And even though it's trending on Twitter, and even though, you know, it's blowing up or whatever, whenever I sit and think about it, I really can see this being his comeback. I really do. And it's interesting, this is the first piece of, you know, sources that we've seen with Shane in so long, you know, where people are speaking up about different things. Again, it's interesting to me because Trisha Paytas had said months and months and months ago that they knew what Shane's comeback was. On Frenemies, Trisha said that, you know, Shane is going to come back soon and he has this, and then stopped themselves from progressing in that conversation. Then whenever it was brought up again, Ethan said, but you said that you knew what Shane was doing. And Trisha said, yeah, I knew back then, so it's whether the plans have changed or whatever. I don't know. I had sent Trisha a message and Trisha responded about, you know, the fact of Shane's comeback, and it appears to me in that brief conversation that Trisha doesn't even know what Shane's comeback is. So Trisha no longer knows, so we no longer know. However, the sources upon sources that are tweeting out that they've received sources about being interviewed, and people were saying as well, like, why would people on Twitter know? And that was what I was toying around with the idea, like, why would these Twitter users all know? But then I was like, right, it's all of these Britney Spears, you know, fan accounts, Britney Spears updates accounts, and it's Britney Spears fans that would be getting interviewed by Shane Dawson, correct? So therefore, wouldn't there be talk within the Britney Spears fandom? Yes. So if this was true, it does make sense that the Britney Spears fan accounts and the Britney Spears updates accounts would know about this. However, I do just want to continue saying that this is just stuff that's been trending online. It's the first thing in so long that has been trending about Shane online, and the fact it has to do with his comeback and, you know, little information. This is also what happens in the media, where things start to trickle, get leaked, and then boom, you know, the comeback is here. There was a little bit of hype growing, and now there's the full hype. Or, you know, testing the waters to see how people react to the Britney Spears news. And in responses of these tweets, it really feels like people don't want this. Someone said, friendly reminder to the people who don't like him, you simply don't have to watch it. He's an American citizen and he's allowed to have a job just like everyone else. If you don't want to support his job, don't watch it. So I think after cancelling people, you know, you just don't vet people's past. Even though you care about their past enough to ruin them, it's the most hilarious thing ever. So, it's important to me whenever that person is saying, you know, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. The thing is, when Shane comes back to YouTube, regardless of what it is, YouTube are going to put that on the trending page. YouTube are going to push that in recommended, which they're allowed to do, but whenever a creator has created harm on your platform, it is your responsibility to act as well. And they momentarily acted by demonetizing him, but then that's a whole other story. They gave it back to him immediately. Someone said, oh, how many documentaries about Britney do we need? Framing Britney, the documentary about this that went viral, did a great job bringing awareness to her issue, but all of these new documentaries, I love how people are saying documentaries for Shane, so loosely saying that word. He's just exploiting her story if he does this. I don't want a new documentary unless there are any major changes in her case. So tired of focusing on the negative of her life. And then another one says he wants to be relevant so bad, he wants to pretend he's not cancelled. No, hell no, Shane needs to stay hidden, we don't want him. Someone said he used Eugenia Cooney, and now look how that turned out. And that, whenever I'm scrolling through, is so talked about, what people are saying. You know, if this is true, Shane did a awfully good job covering Eugenia Cooney's story, and we saw how that ended up affecting her. That, is he really in the capable hands of being able to do that, what he did to Eugenia, to another person? He pushed things to the forefront for his own entertainment value and the viewer's entertainment value of Eugenia's life, pushing it and pushing it and pushing it for entertainment, then ended up really affecting and ruining her, whether we want to admit it or not. We've had this conversation. We saw how unfortunately she relapsed after that documentary, and she was provided no real help throughout the documentary by Shane, except just exploiting her story. And then whenever it's seen that she's struggling in today, Shane is never there to offer her any support. But with Britney, it's different because Shane Dawson is not going to get to Britney Spears. However, if he starts interviewing all of her family and friends and, you know, fans or whatever, that's also very damaging. And we've seen that with the Framing Britney documentary. it ended up creating really bad relations between Britney's team and the people who were speaking up. Therefore, Britney and the people who were speaking up. It just seems messy. It seems smart for him to do, honestly, professionally, because pop culture, he's made a documentary, like, conspiracy theories on, like, Britney and pop culture celebrities, so it is something he knows his audience will be wanting, and it makes a lot of sense because people have been asking for the old Shane, the conspiracy theory Shane, and this will be going down that route again. So professionally, seems like a great idea for him, and it really does seem like something he would do. But I want to know what your opinion is. Again, this is all speculation. It has been trending on Twitter, and a lot of these update accounts have been saying that they have first-hand knowledge of this. Again, I'm taking that at face value, but also believing it and not believing it. And I just wanted to open up the conversation to you, that if he was doing this, what's your opinion of it? And we don't know if he is or not, but it's interesting to have that conversation. So, I love you. Thank you for watching this video. Stay safe, stay well, drink some water, maybe some green tea. And yeah, I love you very much. Bye. Mwah. Let me know what you're thinking about this. Oh, and I'm vlogging every single day on my second channel, which is linked below. So, bye.